memory. New York music, it makes her dance. She hears the music, here's her chance. A Brooklyn girl, that's Dawn Marie. She's sharing New York memories. See the city with Dawn Marie and hang in Little Italy. R.I.P. Sound Factory. The real party is Kings County. The songs about music all around. That's where she found the Brooklyn sound. New York music, it makes her dance. She hears the music, here's her chance. Brooklyn music, she takes her stance. She hears the music, here's her chance. Her large Italian family, they taught her hospitality, empathy, humanity, and strength in her community. Her justice call, defiant tone, rings out from her Long Island home. New York music, it makes her dance. She hears the music, here's her chance. Brooklyn music, she takes her stance. She hears the music, here's her chance. She's so damn cool, so smart and quick. She's old school, this New York chick. Brooklyn music, she takes her stance. She hears the music, here's her chance. Brooklyn music, her justice dance. They face the music, they got no chance.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Monday, January 6th at almost 3 p.m. here on the East Coast. And I just wanted to come live, say hi to you guys, hang out for a little bit. And I had a couple of topics that I wanted to talk about. And I was like, you know what? Let's go live. And, I've been taking notes all day long and things for work. And I was like, you know what? Let's take a little bit of a break. And some of the things that I found of value and stuff. And I said, well, let's go talk about it here. So what's up, Darren from Dublin? Good to see you. Brandon, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Cheryl F. Mel D. Good to see you. Kitty Q. Who else came in here? Nicole on the roll. Good to see you. Gen X. Lexi. And I think I got all of you guys. And to anybody else that's coming in, just hello. Happy Monday. So I've been battling a little bit of like a cough or whatever. And I'm going, you know what? I really hope I'm not getting sick. I do not want to get sick. Barbara George, good to see you. So, yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit about certain things. And I figured what else better to, like, we have Valentine's Day coming up in February. And so, we just got through the holidays and Christmas and Happy New Year and all of that. And so I said, you know what? What do most women and men think about when, aside from all of the things on Valentine's Day, but, like perfume and cologne and stuff? And I said, you know what? I took a list of, I took some inventory on some things that I have and then some things that I really want. And I was actually talking to a girlfriend of mine yesterday. And I said to her, every year I always get a bottle of Marc Jacobs Oh So Fresh. And I said, you know what? This year I didn't get it. I did not get it. So I started making a list of, all of my wants. And, of course, I have to incorporate that in my needs because why not else, because women love beauty products. And perfume's always up at the top, right? And so we're going to talk about it. And if you can, in the chat, drop the name of your favorite perfume and cologne and, let's go over a couple of things. So give me 1 second. I just want to go grab my piece of paper. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. So Brandon, you see Versace Red. That is a great one. I love it. So yeah, let me know in here. Look, Kitty Q, I only have one of only 500 Marc Jacobs dolls from South Park. Oh, I love it. All right. So I started making a list because I was so like, oh my God, I didn't get my Marc Jacobs Oh So Fresh. So I put it on the list and I checked it off. And, And so, and I love Carolina Herrera's Good Girl in the heel. I love that's another one of my favorites too. And of course, Christian Dior's J'adore. I love that one. That's a favorite. I wear that more like in the winter months. Just love the way that one smells. And let's see, what else did I write down here? Versace, of course, Chanel, Coach makes a couple of really good ones. Louis Vuitton actually has a couple of really good scents. I don't know all of the names of them, but if you go into the store and just ask them to look at the sample bottles and stuff, they smell really pretty. Of course, Hermes makes a beautiful perfume. And yeah, Darren, CK1, Calvin Klein, or Davidoff Cool Water. Those are two great smells as well for guys. I love the, when it's funny because CK1 Calvin Klein, I remember back in, high school years and years ago, like when CK1 was it was a gender fluid perfume, like men wore it, women wore it. It just smelled good on everybody's skin. So tell me. I mean, there is also some body sprays that I really like. The Sol de Janeiro is a really nice one. Obviously, Victoria's Secret, they make really nice body sprays. And Bath and Body Works, they have a couple of classics that, never go out of style. And so they're always good to have in the collection, right? So, yeah, see, women and men can wear CK1. Yeah, it smells really good. So just, let me know what it is, like what kind of perfumes and stuff that you guys like. And yeah, let's talk about it. And then I made the title of my live is you find what you focus on. So let's chat good vibes, right? Because you find what you focus on. And so I like to focus on, positivity and good vibes and all of the things that, make this world go forward, because there is so many things that can steer you away. What's up, Red Dragon? Good to see you. Just got Sol de Janeiro for Christmas. It's nice, right, Nicole? It's actually a really nice. They have a few different ones. There's a pink one. I know I have one that I usually wear in the summertime. It smells so nice. The yellow one. And to me, it smells like suntan lotion. And so it's just nice to spray it on. But which one did you get? Yes, Barbara George, Chanel. I mean, I remember as kids, like my brother was getting his girlfriend a bottle of perfume one year. So I said to him, which one does she like? Which one? And he's like, I think it's called Chance by Chanel. I was like, Chance by Chanel? I can't find it. And then I went, wait a second. You mean Chance by Chanel? He's like, yeah, that's it. And so he went and he bought her. I think there were two different ones. There was like a green one and a pink one. They both smelled really pretty though. Oh, you got the pink one. Yeah. So do you like it? It smells good, right? Hang on. If you guys hear the radio in the background, let me just lower it a little bit. Okay. All right. So favorite perfumes. I hear that radio. So, I mean, listen, then you have all of the like celebrities, they endorse a perfume. I know like is it Ariana Grande has one. I think even like Billie Eilish came out with one too. And that was nice. Miss Dior is always a great one. Versace Bright. Let's see the rest on my list. Lancome always has a couple of really good ones too. Nicole, yeah, it's nice. I had never smelled it before, but I'm more of an Estee Lauder Pleasures girl or Bath and Body Works body sprays. Yeah, you know what? Which one I love from? Is it Estee Lauder? It's in the. Is it Oh, help me out here. It's orange. It's very citrusy and sweet. I take that back. Clinique. Well, Clinique is Estee Lauder, right? Happy. That is such a nice perfume. I remember, even years ago, like spraying on like a perfume and then like blow drying my hair, and like the smell would it was just so nice, and people would give compliments or on different perfumes. And I'm sure you guys all have like a favorite one that you wear. Or Princess Mish, good to see you. You like Burberry? Yes, Burberry is another great brand. I haven't smelled that one in a long time. Happy by Clinique, Walk Amongst the Tombstones. Yes, it is such a fresh smell. It smells like oranges. It's very citrusy and fun. And then I think they have another one that they came out with later on. It was pink, but you can never go wrong with the Clinique Happy. I love the way it smells. Yes, Red Dragon, you have so many. I know. Drop it in the chat. Give me some different Red Dragon, Versace, and Chanel. I know they're such beautiful scents. They really are. Brandon, I had to text my wife. Sauvage by Dior. Yeah. Johnny Depp. That's right. That's a Dior cologne. That one smells amazing. I remember, was it last year when he was going through his trial? And so like everybody was talking about, Johnny Depp's cologne, Sauvage. And so I remember I was in Macy's and I was walking around. So I said to the lady at the perfume counter, and I said, "Do you have Sauvage?" She goes, "I have a sample, a tester. You can smell it." And so I smelled it, and then I go, "All right, like how much is it?" She goes, "We're sold out. Do you want your name to go on a list?" I said, "No way, it's sold out." How wild, because he's on trial. Oh, that was crazy. Brandon, it is such a nice scent on a guy. I know she had given me some samples because I said, "Oh my God." So, here I am hyping it up to my husband. I'm like, "Oh my God, I really want to get this cologne for you." And he's like, "All right, let me see it. Let me try." So then I brought him home a little set, like a little tester sample that they make, at Macy's. And so I brought him, he's like, "This is nice. This smells good. I like it." I said, "I'm just saying." And then when I told him it was Johnny Depp, he said, "Get out of here. No way." Like, all the celebrities make perfumes and colognes. How'd you, of course they do. But I mean, Marc Jacobs, his stuff is my favorite. I love every single one of the perfumes that, Marc Jacobs created. Smells so good. Victor and Rolf is the Flower Bomb. That one always smells good. Let's see what else I have here. Jean Paul Gaultier. That one's always a winner. The Valentino one, the Donna Born in Roma. That one is nice. Let's see. Juicy Couture. Juicy Couture was a good one back in the day too. What else? Yeah, right, Red? The Marc Jacobs ones are so nice. Yeah. I like Narcisco, Rodriguez in Black, Gen X. Yes, so that one's a good one too. Kitty Q, I worked for all of them, so kind of hate them. DKNY, Burberry, Estee, Clinique, MAC, Bobbi Brown. Oh, that's right, Kitty Q, I forgot. You worked in the perfume industry. It's wild. After a while, and then you have to keep the coffee beans on the side to kind of like, smell that to kind of cleanse your palate of your, your nostril hairs. When you're smelling all the different perfumes and colognes all day long, after a while, they start to give you a headache and then they smell. And so, but listen, there's nothing like having, your key top, 3 or 4, like which perfumes or colognes really, speaks you, like when I think of, Clinique Happy, I love it because I know that I smell like that during the summertime. Prescriptives makes my favorite all time. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's by Prescriptives. Calyx. Calyx is one of I love it. I mean, I wore that back in the 90s and I used to get so many compliments on that. And so like people would, sometimes your cologne or your perfume defines who you are, and people go, or they think like, you smell like that. I remember, I can't remember. It was like a Jean Naté perfume back in the day that my great grandmother used to wear. But, God rest her soul. It was so awesome to every time I smelled it, I got back memories of, anytime she would knit something, crochet, or whatever. And I knew that grandma made it because it smelled like her perfume. And it brings back memories of your childhood. And, it was always so nice to kind of tie a memory in with, even like wedding day. People pick a certain perfume or cologne to signify on their wedding day, like, what they remember to smell like. And so you used to make the Prescriptives foundations. Get out of here. I love that. I know, Princess Miss Ginate. I always knew, like, I was like, what did grandma make? I can smell her. Like, I smelled like she would make a baby blanket or something. And I'm like, it smells like my grandma. I know she made that one. Yeah, you've had Happy since 1998, right? It goes way back. I remember doing hair in the 90s, and I would have clients that would go, "Oh my God, you smell so good." And I would be like, "Well, it's the mousse I put in your hair. It's all the things that you have in your hair." And they're like, "No, no." The minute the blow dryer would hit my clothes and I would start, my perfume would just light up. And, it was just such a nice feeling, as a kid to have people, remember you by, your signature scent, I guess. That's kind of what it was. Remember Beautiful? My mom always wore that. Sunnyside, good to see you. Yes, I do. That was an Estee Lauder, right? Princess Mish. Oh, Rob's mom would wear Taboo. Yeah, and then sometimes like, somebody would I remember having a friend's mother years ago. She would wear Poison. That was like her scent. And so every time I seen the bottle, I was like, oh, I can't do it. I can't wear that. Like, it just reminds me of Gina's mom. Happy reminds me of an old friend. I always think of her when I get, yes. Red Dragon, same here. Same. Some days I want to smell fancy, and other days I want to smell like a cupcake. And that's why body sprays are fun too, because you know I always have fun with. My daughter laughs at me because I'll get like a bunch of different body sprays and I'll like layer them on, and so either she'll say to me, "All right, you nailed it," or she'll be like, "No, that's just not it." And I'm like, all right, well, listen, like one's supposed to smell like cupcakes and then the other one's like this and that. And so I put a couple of them on, and, every once in a while you'll get, they had Bath and Body Works had a collection of body sprays over the holiday season, and one was like, black cherries and like different things to signify the holiday or whatever. And then one was like a sweet strawberry, smelled so good, and together between the strawberry and the black cherries it just smelled really nice. I remember Anastasia Beaverhausen had said, she was really good at telling me, a couple of years ago about different perfumes. And then I don't remember if it was a Joe Malone or I don't remember who made it. Maybe if she's here, she could help me out. But hey, Denise R, good to see you. And it smelled like dark black cherries. And so then I went to Nordstrom and I was like looking around and I found it and I went $425. Wow. I mean, you just need like a little bit. But then she said to me, listen, there's 2 sprays at Target that if, it's supposed to be like dupes or whatever. And so I remember going to Target and I'm like, you know what? This kind of smell. And, it just smelled kind of just like that. And there was like maybe like a tobacco one, or I can't think of the name. Tom Ford. Thank you, Lexi. Yes, Tom Ford. And so his perfumes were amazing, but you'll have to just use like a little bit, because I remember putting a little too much on once when I was walking through Nordstrom on my way out, and I was like, oh, I'm going to stop. I'm going to spray some perfume. And I came home and I had such a migraine. My husband was like, oh my God, you reek. What is that? I'm like, Tom Ford. He's like, you think you want to lay off a little bit? It's too much. Eileen, welcome in. Good to see you. We're just talking a little bit about, I made my title, You Find What You Focus On. And so this morning while I was working and doing some things, I wrote down, I wanted to focus on a perfume that I usually get every year, and I didn't get it this year. So I was so bummed out. And I said, you know what? But let's go live a little later on and talk about, our favorite scents, or, what reminds us of our, favorite perfume and cologne and things like that. So I said, what a fun little conversation to have, Red. Yeah, there's a perfume I want, but it's like $900. So I bought the dupe for it. Yeah. I mean, there's just ones that are just like so super expensive and hard to attain. And so you try to find like a dupe. And then, like when Anastasia Beaverhausen had given me a tip on, 2 different ones to get at like Target, I was like, all right, I'll try it. I mean, of course it's not the same thing, but I mean, I was even in a spa a few weeks ago, and I said to the girl, you smell so good. What do you have on? And so they had like these 4 little tester bottles of like the little, perfume pens that you throw in your purse. And it was not even like a designer or anything. It was just something for their spa. And so I smelled it. I said, this smells so good. So she's like, here, Dawn, take this one, take it. I go, it smelled like jasmine, and and then they have ones that just smell like clean spa, like So nice. And so she's like, well, they're exclusive to the club. And I said, this is amazing. I love these. Yeah, Sunnyside. My husband bought me one and Louis Vuitton perfume last year. Not my favorite at all. You know what? A lot of times, just because something is really, really expensive doesn't mean it's really, really good. It's hit or miss. It's like anything else. A lot of these designers could, they can make one and it could just be like a fail. But, and like talking about like tying perfumes and colognes to memories. I remember back in the day, the guys would wear, it was Drakkar. And so it came in that black bottle. And so, you always just knew, like, it was guys that had like sports cars and things. And, I remember there was one year where we were all like, as girls going, oh, we just got a new car, whatever. And so we bought like a bottle of Drakkar and like we took it from our boyfriend and we sprayed it in the car. And I was like, so it reminds you of like, silly things that you did as a kid. Love Spell by Victoria's Secret. Yes, Walk Amongst the Tombstones. Good to see you. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like Victoria's Secret, they make some really good perfumes and body sprays too. There's another one at Victoria's Secret. I can't remember the name of it, but it does smell really pretty too. Kitty Q, what'd she say? I so value your comments because I completely forgot that you worked in the perfume industry. Gen X, I'd never paid $900 for perfume, even if I was a billionaire. Could you imagine? That's a little steep for perfume. And I thought the other day when I saw the Marc Jacobs Oh So Fresh, I'm like, $95. I'm like, well, it's a little bit cheaper than Macy's. Macy's has it in a gift set for $145 or something. And it comes with the, body lotion and all the things that you need to layer. Hang on a second here. What is this? Then one year he bought me some because the model on the poster was pretty. Well, that's kind of like how the Johnny Depp was, that cologne. It was, it was the poster. It was the photo of him sitting there. It was so like, this is gorgeous. Princess Mish, I bought my daughter Chanel Chance. She's hard to buy for, and she wanted it so bad. Yeah, that was definitely a must-have. Eileen, your dad wore Drakkar. See, I feel like every cool guy wore Drakkar, or every girl bought Drakkar for their boyfriend or husband. London Girl, good to see you. Yes, YSL is a good one too. Kitty Q, I had an older brother, so it was rough thinking guys smelled sexy, gross, because they smelled like my brother. Yes, same. Or I remember one year buying, like I had a boyfriend years ago and he used to wear Hugo Boss. And so he loved that cologne. And it came in like, it was a really unique looking cool bottle. And so like one year I bought it for my dad. And then when I got married, I remember buying my dad, a special cologne. And I think it was Chanel Blue. It was something different. And so like, I just knew that I wanted my dad to feel special on my day. And so I bought him a special cologne and I did the same thing for my mom. I remember getting her as like a gift to her was, I think it was J'adore from Dior. And she loves it to this day. She loves to wear that perfume. And it happens to smell very pretty on her. There's just certain ones that I guess stick to your pheromones and makes you feel and smell good. Sunnyside, I think every boy when I was in middle school wore polo. Yes, they sure did. London Girl, I love Allure. Yeah, Chanel's Allure smells so nice. Eileen, I wore white linen in the 80s, right? Well, and do you remember the exclamation perfume? I remember I was in like 5th or 6th grade and I said to my mother, I need this perfume. It was probably, and I think it was like by Cody or something, like in the pharmacy or whatever. And so I had to have it. It was like this little white bottle with this black exclamation point. But I had to have it, But, these are things that tie you to your memories and stuff. So I love that. Giorgio in the 80s, Lexi, yes. Yeah, you remember the exclamation, yes, Love's Baby Soft. That was another one. Oh my God, Princess Miss Charlie. Yes. Yes. Oh, I love it. I know. Dawn's Perfume Fun. Gen X, I love it. Thank you so much. I know. I really want to save up to get my Marc Jacobs because I just feel like 2024 just wasn't complete for me at the end because I was like, man, everyone had such a rough year last year. So, and I go, I need my perfume. Let's see. Bobbi Brown has a scent that smells like suntan lotion called The Beach. That's my summer scent. Oh, Sunny Side. I have not smelled that one. Bobbi Brown makes beautiful makeup. I love her eyeshadows. Debbie Gibson perfume. Yeah, she had one too back in the day. See what I mean? Like, this isn't a new thing. This is an old thing where celebrities and music artists and everything. I mean, there's even that kid, Jake Paul. I was at Walmart a couple of weeks ago and I like rounded the end of the end cap and I see, boom, Jake Paul in a whole boxing thing. And I look and I'm like, what is this? It's a body spray. I'm like, look at this kid. He's rolling right on in. You find what you focus on. He wanted in on it. Rabbit, good to see you. I've smelled like lavender and cherry blossom for years. Yes. Eileen, Ginate, right? Ginate. That was my grandma. Or like I said, like Poison. I loved my girlfriend Gina. Her mother was amazing. She was a nut. She was crazy. But you always knew whenever you seen, Gina's mom, she smelled like Poison, the perfume. Who makes Poison again? I forgot. Tell me somebody. I forget. Eileen. I loved Baby Soft. I wonder if they still make it. I know. I wonder if they still do. You think they do? We'll have to check that out. That was one that like when you were in like 6th or 7th grade and you first started, you got your first pocketbook. Like I got my first little Il Basante bag and inside had like, the exclamation or the Love's Baby Soft. There was always one of the little classics that we had when we were kids. Dior, is that? Oh, yes, you're right. Christian Dior makes Poison. Or what about that, DKNY? I used to love years ago wearing, it was like a shape of an apple. And it was like DKNY New York. And so they had a green apple and a red apple. I always got the green apple one. It smelled so nice. Just very clean, Lexi, I also wore Obsession and Cinnabar in the 80s. Oh, and you know what? There was that store back in the mall years ago that would sell, they had like body oils and perfumes and things like that. And so it smelled like orange creamsicles. It smelled so good. I just love the things that you can you smell the scent of it and you're like, oh, it smells so good. You could eat it, right? Yeah, I like DKNY. It was refreshing for the day. Obsession was a good one. And then you have there's summer perfumes and then there's winter perfumes. And so, you just know which ones are going to be a little lighter for, the daytime, especially when it's so hot outside. I mean, you don't want to smell like a whole, heavy fragrance in the summertime. And in winter, you want to kind of rev it up a little bit and not be so too summery. I mean, listen, I live where it's summer all the time. And so we could get away with it. But my mom went out the other night and with her girlfriends or whatever. And I said, oh, you smell pretty. What do you have on? I said, wait, never mind. J'adore. I can smell you from in here. Shalimar was my sister. Yeah. You'll remember, I turned my one sister on to Prescriptives Calyx and she loved it. She was like, all right, I can't handle it anymore. I said, what? She goes, I know that's your smell. I said, listen, you can get it too. It doesn't matter. We don't hang around with the same people. You go your way, I go my way. So go get your own bottle. But I'll tell you this, don't keep using mine. All right. So I'm glad that you told me you were going to get your own. That's always helpful. I mean, I'll share, but you'd look at a certain, if you have a couple different perfumes and you're like, where did all my perfume go? Or you have a sibling or one of your kids, teenagers, and they're digging through your stuff. Then they're done that. Love the original Opium. Wow, I haven't heard of Opium in a long time. That was a good one. Let's see. Rabbit. Lush had a perfume that is called Graveyard and smelled like, what is that word? Patchouli? Is that patchouli and flowers? It was amazing, but not in my budget. I wish I could find that somewhere. Right. You know, one year I was in, I love Lush. Lush has like oh my God, it's my favorite store in the mall. I could go in there and the girls know me. I go in there like, Dawn, I'm like, hey guys, listen, they had one year and it was like in a little black bottle and it was called, it was by Lush and it was like 365 or 24/7. I think it was 24/7 it was called. And so it smelled so good. It smelled like candy. It was just such a nice smell. And so I bought it. I got a ton of compliments. And then so like I guess a couple weeks later I went back and I said to the girl, I want to get a couple of bottles just to keep, one at work, one in, my pocketbook, one, it just smelled so good. And so I remember going back again to buy more because I was just going through it like crazy because of course I was spraying it so that everyone could smell it or, it was just I went back and they were like, oh, it's been discontinued. I said, what? Who do I talk to? Where's the manager? Like, so she gives me this address and phone number of Lush. And I think they're based in like Canada. And so I remembered sending an email to them and I was just like, hi, I went into your store and I always support I buy your soaps and your bath bombs and all of that. And so you had a perfume. It was called like 24/7. And so, or it was, I forget what it was. If you remember, put it here. But yeah, I wrote them a message and then Lush came out with, they had their magazine called Lush Times. And so I go in one day and the girl goes, Dawn, get over here. I go, what? She goes, you were written up in the magazine. I said, what? What do you mean? Like their little newsletter thing that came out like monthly. And it says like, customer and such and blah, blah. And, and it was exactly like what I wrote. And it was like, this perfume was so amazing. You guys need to remake it. And like, so I don't think they ever came back with it, but I need to go and check. But you know what? Even their body sprays smell so good and they last like on your body. Like when you spray it on, it's, it's not like it doesn't evaporate. The Lush body sprays are really nice. Lexi, I love all the dark, warm, spicy with patchouli fragrance. Yeah, those are nice too. Diane B, good to see you. Diane B, what's your favorite perfume? I gotta know. Sunnyside, I love the smell of patchouli, but it doesn't smell good on me. And then you'll always know the ones that you're like, oh, that smells so good on Mary. But when I use it, nope, it's not for me. Let's see. Rabbit, the smell of dirt after rain. It's, oh, pea recall. You love that smell. Okay, see, so it's just kind of like there's, it's like rain smells and things like, things that you're constantly reminded of. Like I said, I love citrusy smells. I love flowery, fresh smells. I'm Lexi. I mostly wear Euphoria now. Oh, the Calvin Klein Euphoria. That one smells good too. Eileen, I layered lotion, powder, spray, Coco Chanel. Yes. Well, it's the only way to wear Coco Chanel is to layer it. I mean, the lotion. One thing Chanel teaches you when you do buy their fragrance is that they believe in layering it. And there was another one. I don't know if it was La Mer, but there was another hot, like really nice skincare line that came out with a perfume one year. And I said, this smells really good. And, a lot of times some of these perfumes come out and they're under the radar. They don't make such a big deal about them. And so when you do smell it on somebody, you're like, what is that? Oh, good, Diane. Thank you for sending me that website. I appreciate that. Kitty Q. Everyone has certain scents that really work with their body's chemistry. Yeah. There's just certain ones like, I mean, the J'adore smells nice on me, but it reminds me of my mom. And so that, I love that for her, And so once in a while, I'll use a little bit of it, but maybe not when we're going to the same party on the same one. Because I'm like, mommy smells like this, and that's just her. She loves it. And, we got her turned on to it years ago. And so every year my dad buys her J'adore. Rabbit, you're an Angel Stones. I'm going back to listen. Yes, good. I'm glad. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate that. Diane, Blue Angel. What about the one from, is it Dior? And it's, oh my God, I used to get it years ago. It was like like a light blue. There you go. I mean, how easy is that? It had like a light blue top on it. And that was yeah, Eileen, that was before children, right? When you had time, before the horses and the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Let's see some more of your comments. Yeah, give me some. What else do we got? I remember one year, I bought my daughter like a bunch of like body sprays, and there was one that smelled like cotton candy. And so I said, look at these are they smell so good, you know, little cheapy body sprays. Sometimes you can get a good sale at Bath and Body Works where you get like, 5 for $35. And so you can kind of mix them up a little bit. Like I said, there's ones that I'll spray on and then I'll spray like pear over apple over, sometimes it's a hit. And then sometimes I completely miss. I'm like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have missed that. Mystique, I have migraines and don't wear perfume, but my hair always smells great, or so I'm told. I do like vanilla musks or vanilla fields. Yeah, I mean, a lot of time, like, if people are allergic to certain things, especially perfume, you get it out of your shampoo, and the conditioner smells so good. And so it's all right. Listen, whatever it is that you can tie to, it's all an emotion. It's all a feeling for me. And I feel like if I could set up, in the shower, you have a body wash that you use. Like I always use Dial or, the Dove cucumbers and melons or whatever it is. Like that's just my signature, like if you always start your day off with, a fresh smell, and that's just who you are, and that's what you stick with, But yeah, I mean, it's funny because I got my husband like a bar of soap or some kind of new thing or whatever it was, and it was like from Dr. Squatch or something. I was like, this is ridiculous, but I got it at like Walmart or whatever. And so I said to him the other day, wow, you smell good. What do you have on? And he's like, that soap you got me. And I go, you didn't put anything else on? He goes, no. He's like, compliments of Dr. Squatch. I'm like, oh my God, that is so funny. Eileen, I love Innisfree, Irish, and Estee Lauder Pleasures. Oh, Estee Lauder Pleasures. That's a good one that brings back some memories too. Chopper, good to see you. Hit that like button. Yes, I appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys coming in on a Monday afternoon. And, this is a good time for me on a Monday to go live for a little bit. And so I figured if anybody was around and guys wanted to hang out and we could talk about, yes, Dolce and Gabbana, Dolce and Gabbana, they have some great perfumes and colognes too. Oh, Eileen, you needed to chat. Good. I'm so glad. Yeah, I needed to, sometimes like if you're working, whatever, like I know Mondays, like I do a lot of computer stuff. And so, try to catch up and set my tone for the week. And I said, you know what? I want to hang out with you guys for a little bit, take a little bit of a break. I figured I'd have like a half hour, 45 minutes that we could, chill out. I'm so glad that you found your way over here. You're always a pleasure to see and be around. So did you guys ever buy like a perfume for yourself and like you just didn't like it? And you were like, it smelled better when I was in Macy's, but it just doesn't. It's just not it. Moonlight View. It's so good to see you. One, you might love Udi Hadrian by Anik Gutal. It's lovely. You know what? I'm going to Google that later and look it up. It's like I was saying, I'm trying to, I want to save up to get my Marc Jacobs Oh So Fresh. I'm so stuck. Whenever I get stuck on something, I'm like, find what you focus on. I need to focus on getting my perfume. Like, I need it. Yeah, it's so good to see you guys. So what's everybody got planned for this week? So let's see. Oh, you know what? Moschino is a winner too. I know that one of my girlfriends her daughter had like a list of things that she was going to get her for Christmas, and then she had a list of things that she was going to get from her friends, and so her daughter had this Moschino. It was like a bubblegum perfume, and I said to her, "Wow, that sounds interesting." I mean, Moschino. I don't think anything from Moschino is bad, but she's like, "Yeah, it's like it's called Toy or something. It's in a pink bottle." And I said, well, I love anything pink, so I'm sure it smells really good. And with a name like, Bubble Gum or whatever it was, Toys Bubble Gum, I'm like, that sounds really fun. Sunnyside, you have to go and return some clothes. Yeah, I guess this is like the week, that if there's some things that you got during the holidays, and I know that I have something that I have to ship out to Amazon this week, and I know that they can like come to the door and pick it up, but I'm like, you know what? I got to run this because then I feel like I got it done, or I hate to leave things sitting outside the house because I don't know. Chopper. Well, I got to make 2 more songs. Then I can start working on some new things. I just got finished my song to Stephen Stearns. Oh, I'll have to hear that. He's really a piece of work, that loser. Oh, Moonlight View. I'm happy. Thank you. You're happy that I'm live? Yeah, I love it. Listen, I just recently started going live, so it's new for me, and I do enjoy it. I do like to come here and just chill out. And if you know me in real life, you know that I'm a very relaxed person and I love to have conversation. And so there's never a topic that's, we can't get underneath it and, grow like a nice, healthy conversation about stuff. Eileen, my sister-in-law needs shoulder surgery and will help her the rest of the week. Well, listen, good luck to your sister. Shoulder surgery is definitely rough. So I'm sure she'll be out of commission for a little bit, but you'll be there to help her out, right? Like, have surgery that you'll need somebody to help with the heavy lifting, and so I'm sure she'll really appreciate that because she'll be down an arm, right? So awesome. Chopper, you created a song about Brian Koberger. Oh God, these cases are so, you can't do it. Diane, work and more work. That's right, girl. You gotta bring home the bacon every day. It's work. Eileen, yeah, she was down since the day after Christmas. Oh no. Well, good luck to her. I hope she gets better. Yeah, Diane, you remember Chopper? Chopper is the guy that wrote the song for Duty Ron when he first got diagnosed with cancer. And so one of my friends, Sunnyside, posted the video for me. I think it was in Discord, and I played it, and I was just like, who is this person? Whoever wrote this was amazing. It was such a nice song. And so I had sent it to Ron, and he listened to it, and he was just like, oh, that was so nice. I said, do me, like, comment on the video or just say hello. Because I remember, Chopper, you wrote something like, he'll never see this. And I'm like, well, my friend knew to put it in my Discord because we got it to him. And it was fast, too. It was like within the day that you wrote it. It was such a nice song. A lot of the things that you write are very well thought out, and I get your message. I get where you're going with, some people write songs and they just hit, and chopped song on cold burger is really good. Eileen, big families come in handy. They sure do. And you guys are a big family here. Your sister is blessed to have you. She sure is, Eileen. That's right, Lexi. Appreciate that. You got to help out when you can, I have a lady in my neighborhood who is widowed and her kids live up north. And so I know that like she has a hard time getting around and things. And so I started like making some extra things for dinner and stuff and started doing it like back in November. And so I didn't want to, like let her know that. So I just made a little extra, and I would walk past and, I'm like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, oh, you know what? I have a little extra left over. I want you to try it. Let me know what you think of it. I made stuffed peppers one night. And so I brought them over to her, and she was, and I just knew it was helping because, like I said, her kids aren't here, and she's, lost her husband a few years ago. And it was just so nice to like see her eyes light up. And at the same time, I'm thinking like, hey lady, can you let me know how my peppers are? I just need to know. I mean, I know that, we love them and they taste delicious, but, she's got a lot of, you could tell. And so like, I was trying to, kind of like spark a little of some conversation with her, but also I wanted to see like the twinkle in her eye. And so it made me feel so good. And so the other night I had made chicken cutlets. I said, you know what, let me run down there because, I want to bring her like a couple chicken cutlets and just, and so it was so nice to, I don't know. I just love helping people when I can. And listen, I can't do it all the time, but it's just those little things. And so one of my girlfriends this morning was telling me that she was going to make a big pot of chili. And I said, oh, you know what? That sounds so good. And my mom makes great chili. So I think I'm going to call her later and be like, hey, Mom, Why don't you make some chili? Make some extra. Stop by and raid your refrigerator for your chili. Gen X was a great song. I like your theme song a lot too, Dawn Marie. It fits you well. Gen X, I really appreciate that. And Turd Ferguson, my good friend Melissa, she wrote it for me. And so when she had first wrote the song, I was just like, oh, I love it. It was such a nice, thoughtful thing that she did. And here I was growing a channel and, didn't even know how to hit the live button. And here she comes, she's like, I got a video for you. I was like, you do? And all she did was just say, like, hey, just give me some key words about you. And I was just like, listen, I'm old school. I come from a large Italian family. And so, hey, whatever you can come up with would be amazing. I would appreciate it. And it was so nice. Yes, wasn't it? It was awesome. Diane B, that's right. He's your neighbor. Chopper plus Sunnyside told me about what was going on with Duty Ron, if my memory is correct. Yeah. So keep Duty Ron in your thoughts and prayers, and always positive vibes for him. He's such a good dude. He's always out there, helping everyone out, and he stays on top of these cases, and just between him and Ed Wallace, they really get all the factual information that we need right from the police perspective. And so, if you like him, subscribe to his channel. And so, yeah, it's awesome. Melissa, aka Turd, is a lyrical genius. Walk Amongst the Tombstones. I have to agree with you. She really is. She has written some amazing songs. And I just think like when you're good at something like that, you don't have to really even try. You just do it. And listen, we're all the critics, right? We all listen, and I love it. Gen X, she did great capturing your essence. I really appreciate that. She really did. I remember just playing it and I was like, damn, this lady knows me. Like, and here I am. I'm like, she's probably like Ferg. Like, I don't even know who she is, but what an honor for anybody, like with Chopper writing the song for Ron. I was just like, hey, when somebody thinks about you like that and they do something nice, and it hits it warms your heart, and it's such an awesome thing to do. Let me see. Yeah, and what's going on there? I see there's some creators here on the YouTube that are collecting money for lawyer fees and things like that. So that's so wild to me. Like, are these real life situations that are going on? And there's thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what, people are suing people? Why? Why? No. Eileen, I like that. He doesn't put up with nasty chat. Nope. You're talking about Duty Ron, right? He doesn't. And we're the first ones to say always, like, we may not be for you, and you're not for us. And that's okay. And so Ron parts ways. No hard feelings. That's it. Just keep it moving. And so, it becomes like a mindset and a thing. And Chopper at Dawn Marie, the tight knit community that I'm a part of, which I claim you and Duty Ron as part of the community when I'm talking about, always goes by the facts on the case. Yeah, I mean, listen, when you're reporting on a lot of these true crime cases, you kind of really just have to, well, kind of not really, you have to stick to the facts, and that's it. Because your conversation could fall into the ears of somebody who really is looking for the truth, and they just want to know. And so, you don't want to put out falsity, you don't want to put out false information on a case, because that's very, very detrimental to the outcome of the case. And you have families that are fighting for justice, and so little things that people say could be, it's just not good. And so you kind of just get the facts, state the facts, and tell the story. That's really all you have to do. You don't have to make it any harder than that. Brandon, one has a $40,000 lawyer fund. They are doing back and forth against one another on the Sebastian Rogers case. My God, what? Yeah, I heard about it. I just don't get it. Like, the father is suing, and then where did Dog the Bounty Hunter come in? What's going on? Like, is this all made for TV? I mean, are these real life lawsuits or are they just like, it's real? $40,000 lawyer fund. That's a lot of money. Oh my God. Yeah, that is sad, Brandon. Very. Eileen, what is going on? Yeah, walk amongst the tombstones. Once turd is in your head. That's right. Some people, some people need to leave her alone. Leave her alone. Like, just let her live her best life, man. She's writing music. Real life lawsuits. Wow. Wild. So wild. I mean, it's because these people are, steering the narratives in what they're saying. And so, I know I heard something about like it was the father of the missing boy. How sad. How sad. The family is telling you just leave him alone. Like, could you imagine? No, like they're missing their whole family member. Stop it. Chopper, a few other creators will be on my little list of people that will stick with the facts. And we all know the difference between speculation and evidence and facts. That's right. That's right. Speculation is never good, especially when there's, the trial hasn't even come yet. And so no, I mean, listen, if you're going to go through a case that maybe the verdict was already, met and you want to tear it apart, I am about it, but let them get through all of the, all of the things. Let them do their exploration and don't get in the middle of a kitty Q. It's sad because most people are blaming the mom and the others are blaming the dad. I mean, their child is missing and law enforcement has said neither of those things. Yeah, it's very sad. I know I don't like it. That's why I value somebody that could come on here and, like I said, make a video, do an upload and just stick to the facts or, listen, and if there's nothing else going on, unfortunately, just keep sharing the missing poster or, that's, to my opinion, that's the best that you can do. But speculating and all of the things when that it hasn't even gone to trial yet is scary. I wouldn't do it. Diane B. Ron always looks into a case before posting anything. He sure does. I know he gets busy with a lot of things. I mean, fighting cancer, plus he works full time. And there's so many of you amazing subscribers that message him and they're like, hey, Duty Ron, can you cover this case? And I did it myself. I sent him something too. And I was just like, if you get a minute, like take a look at this. And so he'll help me. He'll look into something. And if there's something he can do, he absolutely will. If he can't, I know that Gabby Petito's mother, she sends him things all the time and, looks for him to help and support. He's over 400,000 subscribers and I'm so proud of him and everything that he does. And he spends a lot of time and energy and efforts into research and everything. And then you have the Ed Wallace that comes on with all of these 20 something years experience in, everything that he knows too, aside from the NYPD, it's and investigations and things. And, Ed has done thousands and thousands of cases. Why wouldn't you trust him? This guy lives it, breathes it. And, unfortunately has to do these things. And so who better than to share the facts, but people that have done it before. Brandon, I loved when Ron said BS Betty. Ron has very little patience for nonsense. And if he doesn't like someone, he just cuts, he's like, I'm all set. And that's it. He doesn't have to give an explanation, a reason, nothing. And it's like I said, no hard feelings. He just won't, or I'll show him something and he'll be like, I don't want to watch that. That's garbage. Whatever. Goodbye. Yes, I love the Duty Ron community, Mystique. He's amazing. He really is. Ron has built such a great community of people. It's Joey Brooklyn. God rest his soul. We had Josher, who was the producer, who, navigated and steered such a great enterprise for Ron. And Ron's here handling it. He's doing all of the things. Yeah, Eileen, an education. That's right. These guys just happen to have an education. A little street smarts mixed in with some. That's just what they do. Chopper, Dawn Murray, but it involves cases that have chemicals related. Always go to my spouses. It's always great to be married to someone with a PhD in biochemistry. Now that's amazing. Talk about a smarty pants. I love it. Eileen, I love when the wife stomps on the floor. Yeah, listen, when Aunt Janine wants to get things done, she bangs on that floor and she's like, let's go. He knows. He's so funny about it too. Yes, we love having you, Mystique, as part of our community. We sure do. Gen X. Facts take work. The clowns are over on YouTube, Clown Street. Don't do any due diligence on anything. No, and that's what I'm saying. There's those channels that, they just perpetuate bad things. And so for that, we're like, nope, can't do it. And so that's it. I mean, if you're out there clowning around and doing things that are going to hurt or whatever, not about it. We just can't. Chopper, I speculate I'm only on one person I don't feel bad for, and it's that Stephen Stearns. He's a piece of crap. Yeah, I know. We need justice for Madeline Soto, that's for sure. And the mother, too. She's another whole. I can't. These are just my opinions. Brandon, I hear a lot in the courtrooms as a New York State court officer. Have you seen Joe and Ange? His office was across from the courthouse. He is probably in his Long Island office. You know what? I just talked to Joe Murray last week. He is such an amazing guy. He is super busy. He watches my channel. He's still around. And so I know they're doing really well. They're super busy. They're such great people. And he wanted me to say hello to you guys. So hi. Yes, walk among the tombstones. I absolutely love Duty, Ron, and Ed. Listen, they're just two guys that they know what they're on YouTube and they just happen to know what they're talking about. And it helps. It helps because, some of these channels people don't know about. It's like the whole Karen Reed. I don't really know her, but I'm interested in finding out why people have such a movement towards her. And then you have the people that are justice for John O'Keefe. And so, because I don't know a lot about the case, I listen to the both sides and I'm like, okay, well, and this lady goes, is she going on trial again? Or is it like April? Or there's a lot going on too. So yes, Mystique, you're welcome. Oh, listen, you hate when you miss a live. Well, you're in Discord, so if you're always available, I'll always try to drop the link for everybody. And this way, when he does go live, you get a little bit of like some heads up, or like I said, I like to try to sometimes treat Discord as like a little library. And so when I need to, go, I wasn't around on Saturday morning, or so and so was live, or I'm on the replay, and so I'll listen, or a lot of times I'll like 2 times speed. Especially if there's somebody that talks really slow. I'm like, wait, I can't watch their live because I can't do it. I'm like, let's go. Eileen, I grew up there, so it's hard to see the corruption in Massachusetts. Yeah. Oh, it's so sad. Eileen, she is factually innocent. Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. So let's see. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot going. Yeah, it's obviously it's your opinion, Eileen, and that's fine, and everyone's entitled to it. It's just a shame to see people that get, there's people that get done wrong too by the justice system. So, listen, you just want to hope that you hear all the facts and you know exactly what's going on, and especially if you're someone that stays in the know of what it is, and if you read a lot and you check out the papers and you see. Chopper, Dawn Marie, heads up in the song Rotten Hell, Stern is my opinion. And it does have a lot of strong language. So I am just giving you a heads up. Well, thank you for that heads up. I appreciate that. Yeah, Diane B. Jennifer is a piece of blank, in my opinion. Brandon, Eileen, I don't know how the Commonwealth is going to try her again with no new evidence and star witnesses out the door. It'll definitely be interesting to listen to. It was like when I listened to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard, and I moderated Law and Crime for that. And I just remembered, like, I was all for Johnny Depp. I was personally. And so, you know, and I just remember like there were like key things that stuck out. Like Amber Heard was like, I stepped on a bee. It was so what a fun trial to had been a part of. And Johnny Depp just happens to be a cool dude. And you know, he never claimed to be perfect, right? And so he, you know, he definitely added some humor into some of the things. Right? Music too loud still. Hang on. What else do we have? So what else is going on this Monday with everybody? Yeah, I don't know how the Commonwealth is going to try her. Oh, I just read that. Sorry. I don't know. Listen, the mega pint was hilarious, Kitty Q, right? I need a mega pint. There was just certain things that he did to really, you know, plead his case. And she was wild too. My God. Like the things that those two went back and forth about, I was like, ooh. You had pretty snowflakes? Oh, that's nice. I'm sure it's freezing where you are. It's actually a little chilly where I am too, believe it or not, you know. Erica Olson, your chat wouldn't load. Well, I'm so glad you're here and you got it working. Kitty Q, my kids were supposed to go back to school tomorrow, but out for the next 2 days because of the ice and the snow. Oh no, just when you want to get rid of the kids, right? Like, go back to school. Like, you know, or I remember like growing up in New York when they would say like, you know, this, we're gonna have a dusting, and then next thing you know, like there's school that's held up and like all the things. And I'm like, what is going on? Like school's supposed to start at like 7:50 in the morning, and it's like there's a weather delay till 11:30. Like, just cancel it already. By the time you get the buses out and ready to go, that's really always what it was. It was never really the weather. It was that the buses couldn't, you know, they couldn't get the buses started. Chopper, we know when the kids are like that, there's no school. Why don't they just do online class, right? I mean, you know that kid, your kid that's home, and they're like, yeah, I can stay on Nintendo. Like, no, you got to go to school. Like, Newsman said it's going to snow tomorrow. So I'm sleeping in. Yep, Chopper, when the school snowed in, why not just do class online, right? I mean, make them get up too. Listen, I used to love getting an extra day. Who am I kidding? You feel like every kid is going to be chasing you down for saying that, right? You and me both. Well, you know, you get an extra day. I think the schools, what do they allow for certain days, cancellation days? And Eileen, school was never canceled and we walked. Oh, here we go. Now you're going to sound like my dad. He's going to go, you know, when we were kids, we used to put on our boots and we would walk 50 miles. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, to school. Yes, fact, right? Fact. You know, it was always like, you know, growing up in Brooklyn, it was always so fun. Listen, you could never reason with your dad, right? Now with my dad, he said something and that was it. It was Bible. Whatever he said went. And so we knew like, uh-oh, our conversation's getting a daddy. We're done. That's it. He knew because listen, he grew up in the school of hard knocks. And so you just couldn't mess with that. Your story was never going to hold water to his. Walk amongst the tombstones. Blizzard of 78, 79. No school for a week in Michigan. Oh, yeah, I remember that snowstorm. It was the 78 one, right? And you know, the snow was higher than the cars. And I just remembered, you know, living in the city and the plows would come through and they would just push all the snow. Like you would dig out your car that was buried in the snow, and then you'd start it and warm it up. You'd run in the house and grab something real quick, and the plow came and boom, your car got pounded again. Like you couldn't get out. That was just part of the city. And then alternate side of the street parking was a disaster. you'd get like a great spot at like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and you're like, yes, I got a side, I'm on the right side of the street. And then it would snow, and then you couldn't get your car out, and so then they'd have to, put out this, message for everybody like, okay, you don't have to move your cars today. It happened once in a blue moon. Or that time when you were on the right side and you needed to move the car, and you're like, why couldn't that have happened today? Yeah, the snow drifts were ginormous. I remember. Erica Olson. Very rarely when I was a kid too, only if there was a bad ice storm in Connecticut or a flood after we moved to Arizona. Yes. It's always funny too when you move from somewhere where you grew up, and you always say like, well, back in my day, and you tell a story, and then you're like, well, I live here now, and so, how quickly we forget snowstorms, ice, it would get dark at 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You're like, ugh. You couldn't wait to go on vacation to, Punta Cana or, wherever you were going to go to get out of the cold weather. Like cruises were a big thing back in the day for us. Like we always looked forward to a cruise somewhere for a week when I lived in New York. And so, you'd buy a bathing suit and you get all your little cruise clothes. And you were like, oh, next week I'm going to be in San Juan. I'm going to be in Puerto Rico or Aruba, Bahamas. Like and you're like, you could just feel that sun coming on you. You're like, you know what? I get a week in a destination. And so you always hate like the day before, the cruise was going to embark and you were going to get back to, reality. And you were like, you know what? This is the worst. I just need one more week of this and I'll be good. Gen X, no snow in Texas, but my kid braved rattlesnakes and wild boars. Oh my God. And here I was complaining about growing up in Brooklyn and pigeons. I remember my sister lived in Arizona one year. And so I went to visit her, and they were getting up really early to go for a walk or whatever. And I said to her, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, just preparing for javelinas. I'm like, what? The hell is a javelina? She's like, oh, it's like a big pig. I'm like, so you mean like this thing like follows you on your walk? Like, what the? You gotta bring a knife with you just to go for a walk in the morning. Friggin' javelinas. I'm like, what is that? Melissa with the one ask. It's you. We were just talking about you before. Yeah, I mean, what kind of like critters come out in like your area? Like, I mean, I remember Googling a javelina. I'm like, she explained it to me, but I'm like, I gotta see it. I gotta see a hairy pig, like a hairy pig, and it runs. It's fast. I'm like, oh my God, where's your nearest gym? Because I ain't walking outside. I mean, I got turtles and iguanas, and they're usually afraid of people. I mean, very rare. When she says the javelinas would walk right next to her, I'm like, oh, are they dangerous? What do they do? Hashtag I have questions. Like, what the frig is a javelina? Listen, you find what you focus on. And at that point I was like, all right, where's your local your workout gym? Don't go outside. Like, I can't sleep. The clowns will eat me. Deer, lots of deer. Walk amongst the tombstones. Oh, yeah. Kitty Q. I saw a red fox being chased by a black fox a few weeks ago. It was crazy. I didn't know black foxes were even a thing. Beautiful though. Yeah, I mean, listen. It was like when we moved out to Long Island, and they said, there's deer and wildlife and this, and I'm like, wait, what? You got a city kid over here that I can't even sleep because I hear crickets. Like, I need noise. I needed to hear the buses and the subway and people and walking. And I'm like, there's deer? What? And they're going to run through the backyard? Like, how does that operate? I remember when my dad was having a fence built around the property. And I was like, can you just make sure to keep these animals that are here out of here? Like, just make sure they don't jump a fence or... Gen X, yeah, they can be. Javelinas is a wild boar, a big, mean pig. Oh, gross. Black foxes are not common. Melissa, we have prairie dogs. So cute. So what's a prairie dog? Is a prairie dog like a I can't think of what I was gonna hold on a second. Oh, to the person that just sent me a Cash App, thank you so much. That was so nice of you. Hang on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Moonlight View, it's always good to see you. So, okay, so I was saying prairie dogs. What is a prairie dog like? What is that one? What is that animal that comes out during February to see its shadow? Is that like a prairie dog? What exactly is? You know, it's like a javelina. I was like, oh, it's like a pig, like a whole pig. She's like a brown, ugly pig with a big nose and like, and it runs really fast. I was like a curly pink pig. Like she's like, oh my god, Dawn, you're driving me nuts. I'm like, no, I need to have like a whole visual. You know me. Like, I gotta know all the things. What's the deal? The Kitty cute. We used to hand feed the prairie dogs when in Colorado visiting my grandparents. Aw. All right. Well, at least it was an animal that you could, you know, kind of be a little friendly with. I mean, I remember raccoons, always being fascinated by raccoons. I'm like, eh, they're dirty. But they were so cute. They had these like little cute faces, little raccoons. A prairie dog is like in Bow Wars and looks like a guinea pig. Oh, no way. Okay. What is that thing that finds its shadow? I can't even remember. It's in February. The groundhog. It's like a groundhog. Oh, wild. That's so wild. All right, let's see here. Punxsutawney Phil. That's his name. I couldn't think of it. That's the groundhog. Chopper. Like when I said it was strong, I did not really understand how strong it was until I listened to it and just now imagine how people might see the song. You know, Chopper, you have to listen to Melissa Turd Ferguson. She writes some really good songs too. I think you guys would really, if you don't know each other, meet each other. Hi, Chopper. This is Melissa. And her music is great. She writes some really good, catchy songs. You have 5 typos in that? No worries. Walk amongst the tombstones. Love prairie dogs on sunny days. They all stand up, soaking up the rays. Aw. It's like a meerkat, right? It's like some of them are so cute. Mystique. Me and my kids used to feed the raccoons. Then they started to bring their babies and we could hold them while we fed them. Aw. Turd. We had a cow pasture full of prairie dogs. Melissa. They were always caped at Red Feather Lake. Every summer they were from Fort Collins. Yeah, so I mean, even like there's certain animals that are, you know, from your neck of the woods and things like that. Oh, camped. I'm sorry, I said camped. Oh. Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that. And, you know, listen, you guys have wrenches in here. You can like each other's channels. And I feel like it always makes it a little easier to kind of navigate when there's a small chat going on. And I'm about it. Turd Ferguson's Christmas song is my ringtone. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. You just gave me a good idea. Thank you so much. I need to make my song my ringtone. I really enjoy it. She did such a good job. You know, and I don't go on Twitter like ever. And I know that you guys put a lot of your stuff on there, and I love to have Discord for that so that we can catch up on some of the things. So listen, you guys, I've been live for an hour and 14 minutes, and I still have a whole bunch of things to do for the rest of the day. I wanted to thank you guys for coming in and hanging out and sharing your thoughts with me. And I'm sure I'll go live one day during the week. We'll be able to catch up. And for anybody that missed the live, thank you so much for being on the replay. I really appreciate you guys. And listen, it's Monday, January 6th at 4:06 p.m. So let's get it. Thank you so much, guys, and have a great rest of your day.
New York music, it makes her dance. She hears the music, here's her chance. A Brooklyn girl, that's Dawn Marie. She's sharing New York memories. See the city with Dawn Marie and hanging Little Italy. R.I.P. South Factory. The real party is Kings County. The songs about music all around. That's where she found the Brooklyn sound. New York music, it makes her dance. She hears the music, here's her chance. Brooklyn music, she takes her stance. She hears the music, here's her chance. Her large Italian family, they taught her hospitality, empathy, humanity, and strength in her community. Her justice call, defiant tone, rings out from her Long Island home. New York music, it makes her dance. She hears the music, here's her chance. Brooklyn music, she takes her stance. She hears the music, here's her chance. She's so damn cool, so smart and quick. She's old school, this New York chick. Brooklyn music, she takes her stance. She hears the music, here's her chance.